Hello everybody, and today we're going to be going over my Christmas portfolio. So, today we'll be discussing the 2D game, 3D game which is in development, Spaceship and Sword and Shield projects, and the animation fundamentals. Now, for my 2D game, this is a video that I've made for it, which shows everything from all of the GUI to all the UI to all the music. And I've been making loads of different kinds of levels where the sun follows you wherever you go. And I've been making loads of different assets for the background, such as the clouds, the trees, and even little plants here. Now, I've also been doing things like the terrain and stuff underground as well to keep everything interesting. Not only that, but I also made it so you can in fact die. And, well, say for example, if you jump on the slime you die, and if you go into the pits you die. And then on this part, I made it so that it's a lot different. Instead of being all open and friendly, it's really tight spaced and you have to be very slow. I did that to make the player have two different kinds of mindsets when playing this game. One where you can just be carefree and walk through fields, but the other one you have to carefully walk everywhere in the cave and make sure you don't fall into lava. Which is a good way to make the game interesting and a fun bit of challenge. And at the end, you're greeted to a little end screen which I made, and then if you click the main menu it sends you back to the beginning. So what I did for the 2D game is I made some assets such as the tree here and the bushes, and I also made a slime here and the flagpole, as well as some bits of the terrain. And then this heart, well, it was gonna be his hit points, but of course, I didn't know how to use UI properly for that sort of thing, so it was scrapped. But it's just really good. It's just a good way to see that most games can have some scrapped elements. Now we've also got the sun here, and we've got the guy at the title screen who's supposed to be the main antagonist. Now what I did for the 2D game is I did animations with my pixel art I've been doing. Now, I don't think a lot of people did this, but basically all I did was I made 3 different sprites. However, I used 4 for his animation. So this is the first sprite when he's walking. This is the second sprite, and this is the third. But then I put it back to this sprite, so then it looks a little bit better when he walks, so it looks like he's putting 1 foot forward, then he puts the other foot forward as well. Now, I also did something with the enemy as well, which I made him animate, but just like a Goomba on the original Super Mario Bros., he only has 2 little sprites. So, moving on, we have the 3D game. And on here, it shows a lot of assets straight away, such as the benches, the barrels, the obelisk, and the houses, as well as the trees. I've made a lot of unique things in this game, and every house has something different. For example, this has some tables and chairs, and a mug. This one has some tables and chairs and goblets. I want everything to feel different in this game. And I also made a little guy here who I'm probably going to be animating later. And in this house we also have a knight's armor, so that shows that the person who lives there is a knight. Now, I experimented with particles and I made them have gravity, so yeah, I decided to make a fountain with that. And I have made a day and night cycle, which is really cool, and I love the look of it. So now I made a lot of different kinds of trees, 4 of them actually, and yeah, I've made all of this open. So 3D assets. As I said, I've made quite a few trees, and I messed around with Pro Builder to make a sky island too, as well as surrounding it with clouds. I also made a well, and I made this villager along with the suit of armor, and I wanted to make them look similar so it would look like this stuff would actually fit. Luckily it does. And I even made a skull in one of the levels, as well as pillars and torches. The torches dim-lit everything and make it look spooky and eerie, which is the main theme. Again, more trees. And I've done the character here too, and then the house and graveyard. Now, for the 3D environments, I've made this open because what I wanted to do is I wanted to give the player an actual choice. Unlike most games where you've just got a certain level and you have to beat that, then you move on to another level that the game decides you to do, you can do these levels in any order you want. If you want to do the graveyard level, do that first, or if you want to do the secret level, which I have made around here, if you can see the blue thing, if you step on that, it's the secret level, you can do that first, or you can do another level, which I'm going to be making around here, first as well. And I decided to make it open to give the player a choice, whereas in the actual levels, it's all closed. I wanted to, again, give the player two mindsets. One for exploring at your own casual will, and the other just to show you, like, just to keep you in a closed position and let you experience some of the mechanics in the game. So now we've got the 3D animations, such as the idle animation that I've made for the robot where he bobs up and down, and also has this animation here too, just to check if the coast is clear. And a little funny animation I did, just a comedic jump, is him waving his arms about, and it loops. And then for the animation fundamentals, I've made the ball animation, which is just a simple ball bouncing. For the pendulum, I made it so it swings around, and it uses a bit of slow in, slow out, just for a bit of gravity. And then here we have the lamp animation, which I made. And I also added a ball here too, just because I felt it could use something more. Now for the concept art, well, what I did is I went into Photoshop and made a silhouette of a helicopter, and then what I did is I used some tools there to put a car over it, and then cut everything in the car besides all the bits in the silhouette. And I wanted this wheel to be here. And as you can see, I did that here too in my final model. Now for my spaceship model, I wanted to experiment with both modeling and texturing. And I wanted to just put textures all around, and yeah, it looks fine. And this was actually a really fun model to do. Now for the sword and shield project, this is how much verts and stuff the sword has, and this is the total of the sword and the shield. So just focus on this. Now, this entire sword, yeah, there's loads of different parts, but I tried to do that to make it look a bit better. And I've been using things like extrusion to make the handle, and I've done some other things as well. Now, the comedic thing about both of these is that they're both made of cheese, which is very inefficient for a combat, but I just wanted to do it to add a little comedy to it. It's not really something to be taken seriously, and I've continued that with the shield. It's not going to protect you. Anyway, thanks for your time, and I hope you all enjoyed my portfolio.